Thanks so much for making our tails wag by watching this guest interview from Arden Moore's Four-Legged Life. Four-Legged Life. Make sure to subscribe so you're up to date with all of our Four-Legged Life content. Four-Legged Life. Four-Legged Life.
Pause up, pet pals. Welcome to the Four-Legged Life show. I'm your host, Arden Moore. I have one word when somebody says the word Minnesota. My response is, right? But guess what? On today's show, we're going to find out that Minnesota is also home to some terrific pet people who are making life perfect for cats. Yep, on our show today, we're going to talk with the inventor of this litter box system and a litter box ramp. We're going to talk with an artisan who handcrafts cat furniture. And we're going to talk with one of the nation's top promoters and publicists of great pet products. Now, that's a pretty good triple treat. So for the first half of the show, joining us from Minnesota are Patty and Kevin Weber of Simply Paws Design and, what's your name? Oh, Mary Tan, the chief storyteller of Whisker Media. Welcome, welcome all.
Thanks, Arden.
Yes, thanks for having us.
Thanks, Arden.
We're going to start with the couple for 200. What the heck is Simply Paws Design, Patty?
Well, Simply Paws Design was brought about because we've had cats our whole lives, and the only downside that we could find to cats is a litter box. And we wanted to do something about it. The odor, the dust, the tracking, the maintenance, the smell on the cat's paws. So that's what we set out to do. Create a eco-friendly cat litter system that minimizes odor, mess, and maintenance.
Oh my gosh, I love it. And you have a planet-friendly ramp that we're going to talk about too, to put to the litter box, which might be very good for kitties that have arthritis or they're getting old in their age. And I think the reason that, let me say this better, and to help you get your message out, that's why I invited Mary Tan of Whisker Media. I love your motto. It is bark loud, purr smart. But you found out about this mom and pop operation, basically, right, Mary?
Yeah, I actually, this is so interesting. So I actually heard about Kevin and Patty through Chris Kaiser at Yow Catnip. You know, they make the bananas.
Oh, hang on a second. Yeah, wait a minute.
Over there. Oh, yeah.
Yes, I know very much about Yow.
Yes.
I give it to my cat, Casey, right now. He might get high during the show.
They are a Minnesota company as well. And so Chris kind of introduced me to Patty and Kevin, and that's how we all connected. And, you know, the cat community is pretty small in any city, the cat manufacturing community. So it was just super fun to find out what Patty and Kevin were doing. And when I found out, I'm like, I've got to be a part of this. This is amazing. You know, and I come from a shelter rescue background. So also the ramp is just invaluable to like the senior kitties and the ones that have mobility issues and that sort of thing.
And picking the right materials. I almost feel like I'm talking to engineers and cat advocates here on the show right now. But Kevin, what is important about the litter ramp that you just created? What makes it different than maybe just having a low litter box? Because in my household, I have 4 cats, many litter boxes, but I have a senior cat and I have a cat that can leap the height of a giraffe. So we don't, I don't want to get too deep of a litter box on the sides, but I don't want things kicked out. But Mikey is almost 18. He might need a little help getting in a litter box. So tell us about what are some of the materials you use?
So Patty came up with this great idea of helping a cat get into a litter box. And also it's designed to kind of catch some of the litter on their feet as they come down. So instead of having all that tracking, this ramp catches the litter that's on a cat's paws, and you can dump that litter back into the system. So Patty came up with it. We both are really interested in having environmentally friendly products. So we wanted to make it as close to home as we could in the U.S. with materials that were recyclable, that were recycled to make the product. And really, that's how it began. We searched far and wide, really, to find a manufacturer for this thing in the U.S. And Patty, through her digging, was able to do that. Here we are.
Yeah. Patty and Kevin, what were you doing before the litter ramp?
Well, I'm actually a physical therapist by training, and I work part-time.
Okay.
And our youngest son was in school and out of district. And I love spending time with our kids. And PT doesn't have a lot of flexibility. So I had a little extra time on my hand and kind of started my engineering kind of mind thinking about, well, how could I love the litter system that we use, but how can I make it better? Because there were things I didn't like about it. And the same thing with all the tracking. And when I first started coming up with the idea of the ramp, we thought about a lot of different materials that it could be wood or plastics and things. And of course, we wanted it eco-friendly, but mostly I wanted it to have really good function. And we all know cats love a good box, right? And that's the same in our
you
house.
buy the toys and they are in the box.
Yep, that's exactly it. So I knew that was a good starting place. And scratchers, of course, have become so popular. And I kind of combined the two, started making prototypes of our own. And our cat, Ripley, has tested all these different samples for both the ramp and the litter. And she's been great. And it's been widely accepted. We've had a lot of testers try it. And just so it's been great.
And Mary, you've been very active in animal rescue, shelter world, cat groups. I think you represent the Cat Writers Association. You handle their PR, and the Cat Fancier Association. See, I was doing my homework on you. So from your point of view, what makes this a good product for people to consider for their cats?
For me, it's the practicality of it and that they've tried it out. Because I can't tell you the number of cat products, especially that I've tried out, where there's flaws in it. So when a lot of the entrepreneurs I work with, they may start out with a product and they design it for their own personal cat. But when you see all the cats out there, you can really see, like, if you went to an animal shelter, you can see, for example, if a litter box is too small, you're going to see, your 40 to 50% of your potential customers, it's not going to work because, it's too small. Most cats in the United States, for example, tend to be obese because we like to feed them and give them treats. And so it's really important that you try out the ramp with different kinds of cats. And I think Patty and Kevin have done a really fantastic job at making sure that this ramp is acceptable to all different kinds of cats. And I think that's what makes their product so, it's not just serving, just the disabled cats. It's not just for senior cats. It's multi-purpose. It also helps humans. And, when people are buying pet products, I hate to say it, but it's a lot of it is what is likable to the human. What is
they're the ones with the debit and credit card, not the cat. Right. Yeah. We just got a few seconds left before the break. How do we find out about your company, Patty?
Yeah, well, we have a website and it's simplypawsdesign.com.
That makes it easy. Simply. Okay.
And Arden, I want to throw one more thing in. They,
Sure.
Patty and Kevin left out the fact that they have already won awards for the product from the University of Minnesota. So they are on their way. It's a brand new product, and I just encourage everybody to check it out because it also is, I think, Patty, you told me it's some of your ramps have lasted 3 years. Is that correct?
Yeah. The outer tray has just been so durable. It's kind of got a double back feature. So
we're going to find out more of this award-winning product. And guess what? They have another one to tell you about after we take this break. So you all sit and purr. We'll be right back. Four-Legged Life show. I'm your host, Arden Moore. We're talking to some talents in the state of Minnesota, and they are Patty and Kevin Weber of Simply Paws Design and Mary Tan of Whisker Media. Now, are you two, Patty and Kevin, are you natives of Minnesota?
We are. Yep. Both grew up in a small town south of Minneapolis. Moved to Minneapolis to go to school at the University of Minnesota, and 2 boys, 2 dogs, 2 cats. Later, we've got this litter in Patty's ramp.
And triple pane windows, right?
Triple pane windows, absolutely.
And then Mary, you're sort of you've been grandfathered in the state of Minnesota, right?
Yes, I'm originally from northern Wisconsin, but I was a TV journalist for many years, and so I lived all over the country, from New York to Atlanta to Las Vegas and back to Minnesota. So I've been all
So
over.
before we talk about this next invention by them, I'm going to test your Minnesota trivia. Which state has the largest state fair, Texas or Minnesota?
I'm going to say Minnesota.
I think definitely Minnesota.
Very good. The Texans are not happy about that. And you also have one of the oldest, because the fair has been going on in the land of 10,000 plus lakes since 1859.
It's a big thing here.
Yeah,
We go every year.
We do.
Fried
Now-
food on a stick.
Can you name a famous person besides yourselves that was born in Minnesota? I'm going to put Patty on the spot first. Can you name somebody from Minnesota people know?
Hubert H. Humphrey.
Hubert, all right. He was the former vice president. I remember that. Okay. All right, Mr. Kevin, you're up.
Boy, that's a tough one. I'm going to say Jesse Ventura.
Okay, the
A lot
former
of
governor.
people don't know
wrestler.
he was a former pro wrestler and became the governor of Minnesota.
Hey, if
Anything can
Terminator
happen.
could be the governor of California, Arnold, why not? And
Exactly.
I know, Miss Mary, who else do you think you can name?
Well, I'm going off of Patty, but Walter Mondale, another vice president.
Yes.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Minnesota has everything. They have the largest shopping mall, right? The Mall
Yes.
of the America.
All of America.
All right. You guys have a lot of bragging rights. So here we are, and you're starting this business. You've got the litter box ramp ready to go, but you don't want to stop there. Now, I think the actual contents, what you use for litter, cats are pretty particular about what's called substrate. So I'm going to bring my engineering mind to the table. Patty, tell us what you're going to be ushering out soon. It's called the Perfectly Clean Paws Litter. Is that right?
It's Simply Paws Litter. Yeah,
Okay.
Simply Paws Natural Cat Litter System. So it's a whole system. It's a
Oh,
filtering.
gosh.
Yeah, that's okay. It's a filtering litter system. So it's a little bit different than a traditional litter box. It's based off a Japanese system, and it's really good odor control. And ours is a eco-friendly system. So the litter itself is hydrophobic. It doesn't absorb litter. It sits on top of a grate, and when the
Mhm.
cat pees, the urine goes over the litter, and 99% of it goes over, and that 1% that's left on there gets absorbed. And the
Wow.
urine goes into the lower tray. So the odor is just, I mean, it's a game changer for odor control. It's 99% dust-free. It's naturally antibacterial, naturally antifungal, and it's long-lasting. It lasts a month for one cat. It's also
Wow. Now,
really about
what
4
about number 2? Can we talk about poo? What
Yeah.
happens there?
So
Can you
poo,
easily?
they can just bury it just like they would. So it is a pellet, but it's a little bit smaller pellet than some of the wooden pellets that are out there.
Mhm.
And then it can be, it's upcycled from a waste stream, and it can go back out. If you had
Wow.
non-edible, non-food places out in your yard, you could compost it that way.
And so, Arden, some of your listeners, I'm sure a lot of them are familiar with Tidy Cat's Breeze system. which is fabulous. It works great. And we loved it. Patty started using it when we found our cat Ripley. Our kids had been asking for a cat. We found Ripley when we were on vacation, actually. Patty started at a military base by where we go to vacation. And she was just a little kitten. And Patty started using different litters, and she came across the Breeze, which, again, works. It's fabulous. The odor control is the best of any cat box we've ever had. And we're both pretty green, might not be the perfect word, but eco aware. And we wanted to do something that was taking a waste stream, turning it into something, and then turning it into something that could be compostable, that didn't end up in a landfill. And working with the University of Minnesota and a place called NRRI, National Resource Natural Resource Research Institute, and AURI, another research institute, we came up with this litter, and it works just like the Breeze, but it's just much more eco-friendly.
And it's, listen to this, guys. You also, I understand, have a patent for this. Is that correct?
Yes, we've worked really hard on it, and so happy to say we received our patent last month. Just so excited to have that.
After 50 iterations of the litter.
Hey, that's all right. That's right. Now, from a broader perspective, Mary, you see a lot of products, and you and I are going to get together at Global in Orlando next month. What's your take on how this current generation of people who have cats, they want the cats to be their best friends, but they don't want to walk into somebody's house or be known that they have a cat because of the odor. What's your thoughts about something like what Patty and Kevin have developed?
Oh, I think it's an innovative product, and I just have to say, as a whole, the cat product industry is really changing. It is becoming more and more innovative thanks to entrepreneurs like Patty and Kevin. I mean, you kind of know this too, but for many years, cats were just an afterthought, right? Not much innovation in the cat space. The litter was always the same clay litter that's not eco-friendly and not great necessarily. And so what Patty and Kevin are doing is kind of symptomatic of what's happening in the cat product industry. Also, as more and more millennials are getting animals, cats are becoming more and more popular. In fact, at one of the shelters here, they adopted more cats out during the pandemic than dogs.
Wow.
And so cats are slowly, they're still considered second-class pets, I think, in the pet industry and in society as a whole, but it's really drastically changing as more and more, millennials, they live in apartments, they're renting more because,
Right.
home necessarily is not affordable at this point. So having a cat is so much more conducive to that kind of lifestyle. And so
Okay. Well, we're really I can't believe the time is going so quick. I apologize, but we just have a few seconds left. I want people to really, really check out simplypausedesign.com. I want you to check out whiskermedia.com. And I also want to give pause and applause to Patty and Kevin Weber and Mary Tan. You guys are moving the mark in a good way for fine felines. So I want to thank you all for being guests on our show.
Thanks for having us, Arden.
Yes, thank you so much.
Nice to work with you, Mary.
Oh, Patty and Kevin are some of the key people that are going to change the cat product
I like that. And you heard it here first on Four Legged Life. Come on. Now, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk to a man who, for over 30 years, has been handcrafting amazing, sturdy, quality cat furniture. So sit and purr. We'll be right back. Pause up, pet pals. Thanks for watching. If you liked my video, please hit the like button. Also, subscribe to my channel. I want to keep providing you with great guests, special first aid tips, and yes, more videos of these guys. See you next time. Pause up!